Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Giannetti of Homepage News, and welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire with Circana. I'm joined again today by Joe Derochowski, the home industry advisor for market analytics company Circana, to get his data-backed insights on the trends and developments shaping the home and housewares business. In this latest episode, Joe will recap the first quarter of 2026, and he'll share some thoughts on what to expect for the rest of the year and beyond. So if you're ready to go, Joe, let's get started. First question's real simple for you. What did you learn from the first quarter?
Well, we learned, the consumer is a little resilient there. We were originally forecasting in our future of home that Q1 that we'd be down 4% in dollars, and we didn't hit flat, but we got close to it. And it was units were pretty much what we expected, but the consumer, despite the increasing in prices and the changes in demand and stuff that are there, ultimately we're pretty close to being flat.
What more do those numbers tell you, Joe, about what's going on?
Well, I think the big thing is that we understand that there's a lot of confusion, a lot of moving parts that are at play there. And some of these are headwinds, some of these are tailwinds. Like we learned, we were comping versus a very cold second week of January last year. That kind of helped out, and then all sales went down. We had Easter, which is falling at different time zones. So I kind of left that out of this equation. But what we did learn is that there are still a lot of tailwinds. We learned that the consumer is still eating at home. In part, one of the things that they're doing is they're changing how they eat. GLP-1s, it's almost doubled where it was 2 years or 6 months ago. And that's great for our industry because that means we're going to eat a lot more protein. So those categories related to that. We're going to need more fiber. So things that help us eat more fiber. We're going to need more water consumption that plays into it. And then what's interesting is 3 months after you're on it, you start to go to restaurants again on site because you're feeling good. We see sewing machine sales increase. We see clothing sales increase. We see entertaining at home increase at that. So some of these eating behaviors are also helping us to really get some new opportunities. And then with weather, it's been a little bit warmer in certain parts of the country, and that has changed some of the behaviors that we have. So there's all these moving pieces that are at play here that the consumer is trying to leverage. Plus, we had a little bit higher tax returns than we had last year. In the same time, there's also been a little bit of increase in prices. So you've got some consumers wanting to trade down for looking for things that are a little bit cheaper. And then similar, you got some consumers that are wanting to trade up because I'm older and higher income consumer. So it is very confusing and a lot of moving pieces. But at the end of the day, we can never, ever forget this one thing. It's always 4 to 5 times cheaper to eat at home.
Well, it's funny, the confusion, the noise, and all those moving parts. The word that stands out is opportunity, and there are just so many opportunities out there. So final question today is, what can the industry expect the rest of this year and into 2027?
Well, we're anticipating that each quarter would be down a little bit for the rest of this year, but it'll continue. And then ultimately in Q4, we're actually expecting some growth to happen. Now, in 2027, we're also expecting growth not only in dollars of 1%, but we're also expecting units to grow in 2027 as well. So we're on a progress of increasing over time here. What we can leverage going forward this year as well as in next year is we got to remember that there's replacements happening. So especially those high frequency items, think of air fryers as an example. There's a lot of changes in diet. Not only GLP-1s, but we saw people returning to exercise playing into it, and that opens some opportunities. We see some innovations that are playing into there, new products that we saw at the show, which is great to see again. We see entertaining continue to be strong, this connection, the desire to connect with others. And so that's going to open up a lot of opportunities. In fact, when I look at some of the top growing unit items this year from the gadgets, so far the first quarter, we saw things like wine openers, and we saw pie cake servers, things of that nature. And then weather continues to create opportunities because it either is going to help us eat outside a little bit more or it's going to help us eat inside. So there's a lot at play. bottom line is there's a lot of opportunities in front of us. We just have to remember to stay focused on the consumer, stay focused on their needs, be bold at this time, because you know what? We can really help them in these moments that they are eating at home.
Well, thanks, Joe. Lots to consider as this industry looks to offset the continuing challenges it faces with so many new growth opportunities. Thanks again to Joe Derochowski of Circana. For Homepage News, I'm Peter Giannetti. We'll see you next time on Rapid Fire.